Hi, my name's Kate. I'm a high school math teacher in the middle of my 19th year of teaching. For today's Vlogmas video, I thought that I would take you guys along for a day in my life. Today is Thursday, December 4th, and it's just a normal day. We've had a crazy week. We had a e-learning day on Monday because of snow. We had a 2-hour delay on Tuesday because of more snow. So Wednesday, Thursday so far are our normal days. Tomorrow we're wondering if we're gonna have a 2-hour delay or an e-learning day just because it's supposed to get really cold with wind chill like 10 to 15 below zero. So who knows what's gonna happen. So anyway, for today I see 2 of my pre-calculus classes, and with that they are gonna start with a warm-up. So we're gonna just practice writing from standard form to vertex form, identifying different pieces of information and then graphing. And then the back side we're just doing a bunch of reviewing for their final exam. They're going to review solving and simplifying. Then we just spent last class, and because this class had a 2-hour delay, we didn't spend as much time. We had 35-ish minutes. We were sketching polynomials. So they're gonna get this activity here. So I just copied a 2 to a page of these snow globes. And so each kid is gonna get 2 different polynomials, and pretty much almost everybody in the class is gonna have different polynomials. And then they're gonna answer the questions. So they're gonna find the zeros, the degree, the bounce, the end behavior, and then they're gonna sketch that. And kind of depending on how long this takes, I may have them then color those, cut them out. That way I can hang them up and just get a little bit of fun stuff up in the classroom. So we're gonna do that as another kind of warm up, and then we're going to look at dividing polynomials and talk through how to divide polynomials. We are going to use synthetic division. We're not going to talk about long division, so we're just going to do synthetic division. So I'm going to have my students just take notes on paper this time because that's pretty simple to do. And then their homework is going to be this dividing polynomials mystery. So I have just a 6-question mystery for them. It's a little Christmas themed one. So the big day is almost here, but Santa can't find his hat anywhere. He must have left it someplace in the North Pole. So he's got to figure out who found it. So was it Comet, Prancer, Dasher? Where did they find it? Polar Lake, Candy Cane Lane, or Hot Chocolate Cafe? And when did they find the hat? And so they answer these questions. As they answer questions, it eliminates one of the who, where, or when, and then the 3 that are not checked are the answer to their mystery. So that's what I'm going to be doing in my pre-calculus class today. And then in quantitative reasoning, we are doing the last lesson of our financial unit. And so we're going to be doing the retirement and savings information today. So we're gonna be talking about the 401k and the 403b and the 524 college savings account. So that's what we're going to be looking at in college algebra. Nothing exciting really for that class. It's just here's a packet we're going to fill out, and that's been a lot of college algebra right now. Here's just a packet we're going to fill out, and then the homework is just a worksheet off of that. So it's about 7:30. I have office hours starting in 15 minutes, so I'm going to work on getting some things around in my room and see if anybody shows up for office hours. I'm not really expecting anybody since they tend to come just when we have a test or a quiz, but we'll see. I want to make sure that I'm ready when they do come. At the start of every class, I put these slides up on the board for the students, tell them what they need to do now so that when we're ready to start and when we need things, they have what we need. I always list our upcoming tests or quizzes. I list what we're doing today, and then I've been having a meme up there, but right now I just have a joke for the month of December. Overall, the slides work pretty well with the exception of number 2. They seem to go from 1 to number 3, and they always forget to do number 2. So still working on if you guys have seen Other Day in My Life, so I've been talking about that more and more, and we're still struggling here, December 4th, trying to make sure that we get those done. But we'll get there hopefully by May. Okay, so add down. 7 plus 9 gives us 16, and then we're going to which gives us negative 48. And then add down one more time and we're gonna get negative 44. The other thing that I do, just to kind of help, and it'll make more sense when we do our actual problems. Before this last number, I draw a line here, okay? So I just add this little line. This is going to tell me as we divide that this last number that I get here is my remainder. So I always just put this as kind of a reminder, my last number is the remainder. That's not something you have to do, it's just something that I've in the habit of doing, so if you see me draw that, that's all that is. It's that separating the two parts of my answer down, but to kind of give you an idea of what we've been doing and how this relates to things that we've already seen. We've done problems similar to this. They've been written more like x squared minus 2x minus 24 divided by x minus 6. Right? If I gave you this problem, like that would have been a really good warm-up problem. What would you have done to simplify this or to divide, even though we just called it simplifying? Factor the numerator, right? If we could factor the denominator, and then we would do what? Cancel out common factors, right? This problem, that works really well. When we get to other problems, like we'll see in number 2, it's not going to work as well, which is why we need this other process. And because a 401k is intended for retirement savings, so when you're old and when you retire, there is generally a penalty for early withdrawal. So if you are like, I need money now, and you take money out of your 401k before you're eligible to retire, you can, but there's a penalty. And it's a big penalty, but there is a penalty. So what we're going to do with this first problem is kind of look at this idea of what this 401k does and why it's important that it comes out pre-tax rather than after taxes. Okay, so Celeste has an annual salary of $36,000. Her company offers a 401k plan, but she's unsure how this investment will impact her net or her take-home pay. She knows her income taxes are 15% of her pay, and that if she were to enroll, the company requires a minimum 401k contribution of $100 per month. So we're going to first complete this table. So without investing in her 401k, what is her gross or her monthly pay? So it's lunchtime. I have finished both of my I finished both of my pre-calculus classes, and I'm 30 minutes into my quantitative reasoning class. We have lunch, and then they'll come back for another hour. So I'm just grabbing my lunch. Normally, if you guys watch most of my day in life videos, I either bring a salad or leftovers, and I have been really lazy. So that's something that I need to get back to, is starting to bring salads. So I've just been eating these things. I mean, they work. They're not fantastic. They're definitely not filling, but they work in a pinch, and it's great because I can just keep them in the cupboard, and I don't have to worry about refrigerating and all of that stuff. They don't go bad, which probably means that they're not all that great for you. So I'm going to run to the math office and warm these up, which is something that I hate having to do, relying on going to the math office, because it is forever and a day and a way. So I'm going to do that, warm this up, and I'm going to go ahead and enjoy some lunch. I've got these crates in the back of my room, one for each course that I teach, and this is where I keep all of the extra copies of the classwork and homework. So today in quantitative reasoning, we did classwork 3.9, so there's my extra copy for the student that was absent, and then I will put the homework in here as well. And this way the students can just come in anytime. They don't need to talk to me. They can just come and look and see which class they're in, and then find the assignment that they were missing. Sometimes if there's 2 pages that aren't stapled, I'll just label that. But that way the kids can come and grab the assignments without needing me to be here or talking to them. They can just do it. Okay, so my teaching day is over. My 3rd block is over. I'm on 4th block, which is my prep period right now, which is good. Today was a long day. The kids were great. Even my 3rd block, which I've been really frustrated with them lately because they just aren't seeming to put in the effort. They really worked hard today. We were talking about the retirement and the savings, like the 401k and the 403b, and the kids did really well today. They were responding. I have 2 kids that just answer everything, and so finally I was like, okay, you guys are on mute for the rest of the period, and other kids answered. So overall it was a good day. I'm exhausted. It's been a long week, just with the 2-hour delay schedule, with the e-learning day, and just all of that. So it's been crazy. So plan period now. So I'm going to work on, I've got to get my room picked up a little bit. When I teach the 3 classes back to back, I tend not to get as much stuff put away as I normally do, so I just have stuff everywhere. I'm gonna get the room sort of picked up, organized, and then I need to work on, I have a review for my quantitative reasoning class. I'm gonna work through that just to make sure that it's good. I'm gonna get those copies made. I already have all of my copies made for my classes for tomorrow, so I'm good with that. And then once I get the review done for quantitative reasoning, I'll start working on making that list of everything that I need copied for next week so that I can start maybe those copies today. And if I don't get those today, I will get all of those copies done on my plan period tomorrow so that I have everything copied and organized for next week. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around and I am gonna get productive. Have the review done, edited. I removed some problems. There were like 45 problems on the review. So I'm gonna head to the math office and make those copies, and then I'm gonna come back. I've still got maybe 20 minutes of my prep, so we'll see how much else I can get done. I just spent a few minutes figuring out what copies I still need to make for next week, and I just made a note of those on my plan for tomorrow. So on my plan period, I have exactly what I need to do for copies. That way I can be really productive on my plan period tomorrow. So tomorrow I am not in my classroom during my planning period. Another teacher uses my room. So I'm in that math office. So I'm not able to go and look through all of my stuff. So I really try to spend a little bit of time on my plan period when I'm in my classroom, making a note of things that I'm gonna do for my next day's plan period, because again, it requires going through my curriculum, going through and looking at all of my stuff that I don't have access to when I'm out of my room. So spend time doing that, and that's it for my day today. If you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. That just tells YouTube that you liked it. It does also help get this video out to other teachers, other math teachers, other high school teachers. If you guys are interested in following along more with my journey, please subscribe. I do upload videos every Friday and every day here during Vlogmas. I hope you guys have a mathy day. Bye.